YouTube, what's up? MrRampro here, and we've got a knife review. And I'm pretty amped about this knife. I think it's got some pretty cool features. I'm going to show it to you. This is the SPYDERCO Sage 3. And this particular blade, like you know, all of them in the Sage series are taking a mechanism or a locking feature and accentuating that feature on that particular knife. So Sage 1, I believe, had the liner lock, and Sage 2 was the frame lock, and this here is the bolt lock. Blackie Collins design. He's the one that's got all those MrRampro knives and stuff like that, or I guess a lot of his designs are made by MrRampro, those little cheap Chinese knives, but he's got some pretty decent ideas, I guess, and he's got quite a few patents out there. I think I was reading on their site that it was like 70-something patents or whatever it was, but that's pretty cool. This, in my opinion, is pretty much like your axis lock. The axis lock on your mini grip is a little easier to deploy, but it's about the same thing. So you do have a steel back plate that pretty much covers everything behind your button, so you don't have to worry about any trash getting in there or anything like that. But I would worry about probably water or some kind of liquid getting in there, just because of the simple fact that now it's going to be harder to get into to clean. But you do have your screwed together construction, so you can take it apart and clean it a little easier. I have not taken this knife apart. I'm sure it will be a pain in the tail, so I'm not really going to go that route with it. But the option's there if you want to. You do have a 50-50 choil here, so you can choke up fairly far on this blade. I'm not really a fan of that. I don't like it too much. I like my knife to pretty much have a nice distinct stopping point. And with this right here, if I get used to carrying it this way and using it all the time, I'm going to inadvertently go here. And who's to say that I'm not inadvertently going to go straight on the blade? Maybe a high stress situation, something like that, where I need to cut something, you know, whatever. I'm panicking. And I like to not leave anything up to chance, especially not injure myself. If I'm already trying to use the blade, probably trying to help somebody else or help myself get out of danger. I don't want to put myself further in danger or in harm's way. So I'm not really a fan of that 50-50. I'm sure a lot of you guys disagree with me, so you can keep that to yourself, because I don't give a shit. But anyways, made in Taiwan. It's in Taichung, Taiwan, which is cool, but I'm really preferring the American-made knives, of course. You know, the Seki City, Japan ones, stuff like that. They're pretty good. My biggest scare with it is just out of all these different places, you know, you start putting your knives out, what, 3-4 different places now. You've got SPYDERCOs out of China, Taiwan, Japan, and America. So you're probably going to find 1 or 2 of those locations that don't meet your expectations. So that would be, and you might be more tempted to steer away from those areas, you know, if you know that a knife's made from there. So that would be where I would keep it closer in-house. You know, or closer to, you know, doing it in one spot. You can keep tighter reins on people if they're always doing the same thing. So that would just be my opinion. But I'm sure there's obviously a lot of cost involved. This is a fairly expensive blade. You're just going to spend about $120 for this one, I believe. I think it's somewhere right there, maybe a little higher. But yeah, I think it was a little higher, maybe $130. But you do get some great blue G10, which is extremely textured and excellent as far as gripping on. I love that. That's great. It's cool how they have the smooth back. This back spine here is completely smooth, and your side gets instantly textured like that grip tape. So that's pretty cool. It's got a nice little, a different feel, different contrast, kind of cool. You do have the wire pocket clip, and this is my first blade having that wire pocket clip, and I'm a fan of it. I like it a lot. It seems to roll out of the pocket on that radius. As far as on that wire goes, it seems to slide right out and not really have a problem. As far as deployment, nice and tight. It's extremely strong. Sorry, here I am looking above the camera and not through my little sight lens deal, but you can see there it's extremely strong, and I like it a lot. You do have probably in the 2 to 3 range, I would venture to say, inches for cutting length on this blade. This is a comparison to your Delica 4, which is one of my EDC blades in the rotation. Digging it. You do have a full flat grind blade, and you're in that nice leaf shape, which is extremely cool. I dig that shape of blade, so that's pretty nice. But hopefully you got enough on that size comparison. If not, we will throw an Endura out here and the Centofonte. And we'll go ahead and toss that back in there too. I'll give you a size comparison on it. Why not? They're on the table. I'll just keep going, huh? Just keep adding them to the back of the lens. Back of the lens. Oh, okay, I'm out of frame, my bad. Anyways, you can see there, you got quite a few to choose from. So you pause it and you measure your computer screen and you do your size comparison. Little details don't really seem to work out very well for me, but the size comparisons seem to be okay, especially if I'm holding one of the knives in my hand as I'm doing it. And like you guys, you might already have this knife and you're watching the review on it after you bought it. And I don't know that I've actually watched a review on this one here, and I probably will sometime soon. But if so, definitely you can feel your jimping here on that tang side of that 50-50 choil, and you're jimping on the back side of that blade. You will notice completely smooth handle-wise, no jimping at all. Your screwed together construction for takedown, your rather large spider hole, and the application of the spider on the blade is kind of cool too. It differs from the way the others are, and I don't know, I'm doubting you can see that. But your Seki Cities, they kind of, I guess it's probably like a really fine laser or something like that. These, they just seem a little different. It almost like it has texture to it or something. It's kind of cool. You can feel it. You do have the CPM S30V, so that's a pretty good blade steel. I've been playing with it a little bit. I think I've only got one or two knives with it, and I don't have a ton of experience with it, so I'll have to keep you guys up to date. Don't believe in safe queens, so we will see that one working with me out there, keeping the country safe and airplanes flying. So I'll keep you guys up to date on it. Overall, a great blade, fairly decent price. This blade has extremely good quality. I was proud of it, like it a lot. So we will get back to you after a little bit. It's MrRampro. Thanks for watching.